Alrighty guys, so we have today memory stocks, that is Micron, Sandisk, showing us a bounce, and so are the semiconductors. Could this be the potential start of a stabilization? Is that a possibility? How should we read this price action? Should you get off your chairs and start dancing? Well, that is up to you. But what I'm saying is that, well, let's take a look at the price action. Some bounces along the ways in these memory stocks that we are seeing. And also we did see a strong sell-off in semiconductors area, that is Nvidia and all, and AMD, but they're a little bit bouncing back up again. What does it mean? Let's talk about all of that in this video. Once I let you know, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. I'll move Seagate up here so that we talk together with the other memory stocks. So let's start off with SK Hynix. So SK Hynix, so yesterday Korean markets were closed. So there is not really much that we had from as in the reference. So, and at this point, what SK Hynix is doing over here is technically a part of a bounce only, guys, like, because the prior context on the Korean SK Hynix, as I have told you previously, is still to the decline, right? The previous context is still declining. And so today's candle on SK Hynix, yes, it's a good rebound, but it is just remaining a rebound. Can it turn into a strength? Like, what are the indications on SK Hynix for strength? Well, to start with, there is a stabilization we have to see, because SK Hynix, as I said, the prior context is in the decline from the Korean side. We want to see a good stabilization in this area. If it can do it for a couple of days with the break of the level above, that is 166, then you can expect some, at least bottom formation. Otherwise, this still is, part of a rebound still. Okay, so right now you are not really seeing this as it's about to turn bullish. You're just seeing it as it's a good stabilization. Okay, I know SK Hynix is a bit complicated to dissect here, provided unless you look at the context from, as I said, Korean SK Hynix, right? So, all right, let's get to Micron. So Micron has a good bounce today, and what is this bounce means? Like, is it a good stabilization? Now this bounce is coming at a zone of importance of the near-term focus that we have been looking at, and price is reacting there. Now, like it or not, it is not bullish here. Okay, and as I have said to you guys previously, that until 950, you cannot look upside on this thing as a bullish strength. We'll have to get above 950, or near-term rebound can build up until 950 if we break out above 892. If we can do that, then we can test 950, but that will be still a part of a rebound. 950 above is what we'll have to get before bull starts to take control again on this thing. Okay, so today's bounce can even last for a day or two and go up like that, but may not give it full on strength. But it's a bounce. As I said, near term upside can continue above 890, push to 950, but that is where right now your near term bounces horizon is. Can it even do that? Well, for that you have to let the level break 890. That will open up to 950. Right now it's just a bounce. We don't know when we are in an upside direction, we don't know how much pullback will happen. We have to trade level by level. Okay, when we are in the downtrend, we don't know how much rebound would come, so we'll have to trade level by level only the rebound. So right now today you are seeing one level is holding below the significant level, all marked by my tools. For if you need access to my tools, check out the details in the description of this video. And we tested the level above, then we pushed above that, getting close to the next level so far. But again, since overall context is negative, rebounds are just level by level. Okay, because overall structure is still taking precedence, which will still take precedence until 950. Now 1100 on this thing was the zone I told you back then, get out. That is a strong, like a break of its proper structure, right? And you can see from there we have been declining. From the top, Micron has come down all the way to the near bottom at 36%, and today's account is 31% negative on the price action. I don't have any position in Micron, but I am eventually will be interested in memory stocks for a potential meaningful bounces plays, but not at this place. I'll talk with my members when that would happen, and I'll talk about that. All right, let's get to now Sandisk. So Sandisk also a bounce only today. Now this thing is still weak though. The bounce is not even like really a bounce. One thing has been falling for quite some time, right? Along the ways, these bounces are okay. Now this zone still remains a strong resistance on Sandisk, that is 1583. So below that is just a rebound only so far. Okay, or 1600 to make it simple to explain. It's just a rebound until there, doesn't make it bullish. We will be in the weakness, still below 1600, and overall direction still remains to the downside. Only above 1600, if we start to get that zone, then only we can consider that okay, Sandisk has a room to make some climb to the zones like 1900 and maybe 2300, but that is out of the picture right now. You cannot talk about the upside good one until we get above $1,600 on Sandisk. We are still very negative on this thing. It's a bounce, but nothing more than that. Seagate also a bounce, just a bounce, coming very close to a significant level, guys. All mark my tools for you, right? And we are getting to 800, excuse me, 800 is the zone. Like we are still negative. We are still in the negative direction. We are not bullish. It's just a bounce. This thing has a room to only turn around the direction, possibly above $800. Otherwise, yeah, it's still a broken structure right now. We're still just bouncing for a day and it still remains in the negative side. Like for example, here, yes, we bounced. Did we become bullish? No, we just came down. We bounced here also. Did we become bullish? No, we came down, right? So context, right? Nvidia, because direction is negative still. Nvidia is actually today really breaking down, getting bought up at those zones of 199.50. Unfortunate to see that. Broadcom is doing the very similar thing. We'll get to that in just a moment. But the thing is that it's just a part of a volatility right now. Like when we are trading a market of certain stocks giving us the upside, but then many of them are collapsing, they alone would just not climb up, guys. Okay, and that's where it's important to separate out the price action with the previously declining one. So you have to give some leeway, and technically you don't have to give leeway if you don't want to. Technically structure broke below 203. That's the point where you have to start getting out. Okay, that's where the weakness is. Now, is this bounce today strong enough? Okay, so personally, I have also sized down my position. Once we lost 203, right, gapped below that, any rebounds I got today just sold off in that. Okay, I still have a position though on Nvidia, but I'm risk managing already below this zone of 203. Now the thing is that let's see how it closes today. If it can close above 204, 203, we may have a room to stabilize here again. If we start to close weaker, that's where I would consider maybe over the weekend, I may not want to go with a position in Nvidia, but that yet to be seen by the time how market closes, but that will define my decision. As I said, if we close above 204, 203, good. If we don't, not a good sign, okay? AMD. So AMD is finally cracking lower, okay? It was at 1.460 today. The thing is that AMD has broken its price action. $500 below, no point. And liquidity grab, as you can see, has worked out precisely as how I mentioned. We don't need this zone. I'm going to get rid of that. So it was useful back then. Now it has served its purpose. So liquidity zone worked out just as how I mentioned. This thing most likely has a top here. And 500 below, price action is broken. There is no comeback on this thing as we stay below 500. Can it a little bit breach it? Yes, it can a little bit breach it. And even can test 528 again. But that will still keep it weaker, on the weaker side. 528 below, we will remain on AMD on the weakness side. Today's bounce is just a bounce, so not really much to be excited about. It's just a bounce, guys, today. Okay, so unless we see a strong close, which right now I'm not seeing signs of that. ARM, so this was the zone that I was telling you, 239 is the next zone, and we got there almost, bouncing around there. That's expected. When we have been falling so much, the bounce can come. The point is that this bounce can even come until $300, but the direction on this thing will still remain to the downside, because that will still just be a part of a rebound. So is the rebound building? It is showing signs of the rebound, but rebound only. This thing is still super negative and still can rebound and come down like that. Okay, so we are still technically bearish on this thing. Okay, let's take a look at Broadcom, because Broadcom came quite low. Okay, and this is the, and that's why it's important to manage the position if we start to lose the zone. I was willing to give it a little bit more room actually here, but a little bit of weakness started below 386. This was my, like, 372 was the thing that, no. And this is where I built my position in this zone. Now, I did size down some of my position today, and it's all about risk management, right? Now, if you remember, you already know there are so many stocks we have made so much money on, we are in so much profits, and the things that don't work out, you have to cut them out really quick. Okay, that's how you make money. You follow the price action, and you put your bucks where the higher probability is, and then risk manage the positions, and you cut the losses quick, let the winners run, and that's how you become profitable, following the price action and risk managing. I do all of that in my members only videos. If you are interested, consider becoming a member. Now what I'm seeing by the end of the day, and that will define remaining position for me on Broadcom, what I'll be doing is, as if I don't see a close above 373, I will not go into the weekend with my Broadcom position, because technically it started to lose the structure at 386, but I was willing to give it a bit of a leeway, because overall structure, the position building area was 374. So stop loss usually for me, hard stop loss is like at the break of the overall structure, which it lost today, 372, right? And that's why I sized down the position. Now, remaining position, I want to see how the day closes. If it closes above 373, good, I may continue to hold remaining position. If it doesn't, I will have to get out on Broadcom, because even though it has a room to stabilize, but price action is broken, and that's the whole point. Okay, and at this point, this is not looking good, because overall sentiment is broken right now as well. Many stocks are falling today. Okay, but it's not that it's just fallen out of nowhere, but there is a price action that we have to look for that, and I have been talking about that to my members. But the point is that Broadcom is a little bit looking in the weakness. If we lose 359, definitely this time we're then looking at 332. I don't want to hold a position when the price action is in the downtrend. Why would I hold a bullish position? And that it all defines how we close today, closer to 373, 374, 373. TSM, guys, continues in the decline. We tested the next zone below already today. This thing can still bounce until 420 and still will remain in the negative direction. That will just be a bounce, nothing more than that. We will still remain bearish on TSM here. Okay, so yeah, right now, yeah, let's see bounce along the ways as if they come, what they do. But today's price action is just a bounce on TSM. Intel also losing its zone below $100. Now it's a completely new price discovery mode. There is no strong significant level in this area. Along the way, some levels would become important as the price action does its thing. Right now it's a free falling knife. 116 below, or I have been telling you this from 125 below, weakness, then 116, continuation of the weakness. $100 was the next target, right? Got there. Still weakness. $100 below, this will still remain in the negative direction right now. Okay, it's still weak and still bearish. All right, guys, that's all I had for you in this video. Let's take a look at NASDAQ 100. So Nasdaq 100 has been a bit on the weaker side. I talk in my members only videos, and unfortunately losing $700 doesn't really help it, but it's a Nasdaq. It can go sticky as well, but right now it seems like it wanna cool off. Anyway, 700 below, overall structure is broken on this thing as well right now unless it regains it. S&P 500 is technically stronger than Nasdaq 100, but it is in the multi-day weakness below 750. And overall, though, it's still holding with 738, but let's see if overall market sentiment is not improving. This thing may also start to lose overall structure here. All right, guys, that's all I had for you in this video. Hit the like and subscribe if you found helpful and valuable. And with that, I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.